Good morning to all the participants joined in the weekend virtual session on work life conducted by the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in association with Heartfulness. We have with us today's resource person, Madam Jyoti Ganpati, and our experts and the enabler, Mr. Prasanna Krishna, BH. Both are from Bangalore. So that with a grand and warm applause, we welcome you both in this virtual platform of work-life balance. And they are the experienced professional as far as the concern in that one is particularly whenever we are talking about the meditation on the work-life balance, so that they will throw light on that one as various aspects of the anxiety on the and the leadership. And with this, I am handing over the session to Mr. Prasanna Krishna, BH, for introducing today's resource person, Jyoti Ganpati ma'am, and thereafter handing over the session to Madam Jyoti Ganpati for further proceeding. Over to Mr. Prasanna Krishna, BH.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, Dr. Sambit. It's my pleasure to welcome Jyoti Ganpati to facilitate this session, to introduce a vast experience in a few lines. Ms. Jyoti is working as a director of human resources with a global multinational organization. She's an expert on holistic well-being, a very good enthusiast in this area of holistic well-being. And she has been a heartfulness meditation trainer and a practitioner for quite a while. Jyoti is an experienced HR practitioner and leader with over 2 decades of valuable HR specialist and leadership contributions in the information technology sector. During her career, she has specialized and contributed extensively to the areas of innovation, talent strategy, competency design and development, inclusion and diversity, among other areas. She enjoys her role shaping and leading critical talent programs in the area of leadership development, performance, and skills specialization to fuel the business growth. Jyoti is also a practitioner and trainer of heartfulness meditation and volunteers her time with corporations, helping them introduce, integrate, and curate heartfulness meditation practices into the overall well-being programs for leaders and staff. She lives in Bangalore with her husband and a daughter. It's a great pleasure that I welcome Ms. Jyoti to this program and request her to take this forward. Please, Jyoti, go ahead.
Thank you so much. A very, very warm welcome, everyone, once again to this series. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to join you all for the first time, and it is truly heartening. I do want to repeat myself that if you are able to carve out time every day or some of the days in the week to be able to participate in these sessions, it truly shows your commitment and your interest to your own well-being. And therefore, it is quite commendable. So congratulations and a very hearty welcome to today's conversation. As I learned, and yesterday, just as a very quick recap, we were reflecting about what does really balancing work and family life really mean to each of us. And we referenced some videos, and we had a very good, I would say, reflection and an introspection discussion, conversations to think about, is it truly seeking a balance, or is it really about how do I seamlessly integrate all dimensions of my life to really live a fulfilling life? So I'll leave you with that, just in case if you were not party to yesterday's discussion session. There's a recording available, so go ahead and reference that. So today we have another topic in continuation of this theme of how does striking a balance or integrating our life holistically across the various roles and areas that we actually are responsible for, we would love to do, but do we really carry the same level of energy in every activity, in every interaction, in every piece of work that we are involved in? So I'm going to reference a few videos which has very powerful messages for us. So as always, we will listen to the video for a few minutes, and then we will come back and debrief and talk about what are our key takeaways from those videos. So I'm bringing my screen share to play the video now. I would encourage all of you to just make your notes, just make a pointer of what you're hearing, what is making an impression on your mind as you listen to this few minutes of video. So let's all now listen. This is actually a series of 35 minutes conversation that was covered by Your Story. It is a channel which talks to all the celebrities and credible leaders in the industry from various areas. And this particular conversation with Mr. Kamlesh Patel Darji was really about how, some of his own personal experiences can help working professionals and especially focused on leaders. So we are just taking few of the snippets from that long video of 35 minutes. I will share the link for whoever is interested to really listen to the entire video, but today we'll just take parts of it. So let's begin. Now, this is a question which, is what he's answering in the next video that we watch. How can leaders make peace with their anxious minds? Okay, and for most of you who are, working professionals, you have an expertise and experience, you will relate to this, that when you as a leader are operating in your company, it could be your own company or you're working with another firm, how much it is important for you to role model. And one of the aspects of role modeling is not about the skill sets and capabilities that you bring as a leader, but it is also about how do you really manage day-to-day situations and how do you guide people along the way.
Call. पूरी मेरी नहीं थी.
Sorry, I think he has to go on mute. Okay, thank you. So this kind of little bit gives us snippets of, how crucial it is for leaders to really manage their anxious mind. And, while there is a pressure or there is, I would say, a privilege of being a role model, there's also a pressure of really being able to manage yourself in the most appropriate manner. Because as leaders, we face the maximum amount of expectations, pressures, and therefore it becomes so crucial for everyone, but more so for the leaders to be able to manage difficult situations. So that's a little bit on the context, but let's listen to the video and then we'll all debrief together.
India is a master of many good things. One great thing that I have learned in our land, that whatsoever we do as a consequence, karma theory, right? The fruit of our actions, let us see, if they are favorable, I become happy. If they are not favorable, I am unhappy. Right? Now, fruit of our actions, whatever they be, they are depending on the action itself. If I had done a wrong sort of approach, or action, then it would be a different result, not satisfying to my heart. And this action depends upon how well I have planned. See, it is a mind that has not planned properly remains anxious for the results. But a person who has planned properly, he is not anxious, he is confident. So preparedness is required. And before that, how would you come to rightful planning without rightful thinking? And rightful thinking will come only when you have rightful ideation or ideas or intentions. So you go back to intentions again. Simple thing, I like to remain pure and simple. When this is my goal, I will not do any wrong thing. I will not try to have shortcuts. I will do whatever I have to do to make the project successful without creating complexity for the organization. Because I can't tolerate personally complexity. It's a burden to the meditative mind.
If you are not a good meditator, if you can't focus, do the 40 days technique to learn to get to alpha. When you first wake
Okay, we are just watching another short video, another 2 minutes, and then we'll debrief. So there's a second video that we're now watching, which is in context of what you heard now, that how do you manage an anxious mind, to now, how can meditation make us a better leader? Okay, so let's listen.
Generally, I meditate with an idea of greater presence in my heart. Greater presence of, I can generally think of godly presence in my heart. So, or there's so much of peace, or, poise, love in my heart, and I just sit and meditate like that. That's all. Later on, when I'm in deep of meditation, depth of meditation, and when I come out of it, either at that time or during meditation, some great ideas would emerge also. It's not that you remain thoughtless during meditation. Some thoughts will definitely come. Though you are trying to regulate your mind and say, oh, I'm going to meditate on the presence of divinity in my heart. But despite of all that, other thoughts will come. And that is okay. Suppose you are launching a new project. The idea will come. Now, when the idea of launching a new project comes to your mind, there will be many other pros and cons developing in your mind. Now you are walking through a virtual path of the project, see, which you had not seen earlier. When you are seeing virtually the project unfolding in front of you, you are able to see first of all what can go wrong, or whom I should not be including as my team. Not out of enmity, but he's not right person for that. So you will choose the right people, right process, right timing, right place, right protocol. You are able to eliminate what is not suitable for the project. So meditation somehow erases these things. But that's not the main purpose, as I said. The main purpose is something else. These are the side effects which can be beneficiary.
Okay. Okay, so those were very short videos, but like I said at the beginning, very, very powerful messages. So let's now try and debrief what we took away. I'm hoping that if you have access to the chat window, you could just type in and say what your key takeaways are. But I'm going to try and, recap so that we can capture all the inputs collectively. So number one, I think, when Daji mentions that when we as leaders, or actually for any decision making, and all of us has made decisions in our life, whether it's about working area or it's in our personal life, when we make those decisions, there is an aspect of, planning. And he says that if we are feeling anxious, the first cause of feeling that anxiousness is because we are not clear about what we want to deliver or how we want to deliver, which means there is no planning that has happened in the mind prior to executing or making that decision. So if the mind has not planned properly, that leads to anxiousness. And the ability for us to plan is really about how do we prepare ourselves for important decisions. And some might question saying, is it possible to be prepared in all situations? Because a lot of things happen to us very ad hoc. We might not really have the luxury of planning time. So let's look at both the scenarios. So if you are a leader, then you are very clear about the decisions that you have to necessarily take. And a lot of the things come to your area as a planning or a pre-expected work. And therefore, there is part of the job that you can always plan. And also, as a leader, the fact that you're a leader means that you're going to be dealing with a lot of ad hoc and ambiguous situations and make quick decisions, which means that there is no much planning time. So in both the scenarios, as we start to develop this practice of, and he referenced meditation as a technique, which helps us to really pause, center ourselves, and get into a space where you can feel more prepared. So if you look at it, two aspects of, planning is cognitive, which means you will look at data, information, and you will take time so that you feel prepared. But it's also about, capturing your inner call or inner guidance so that when you combine this with the data, you're able to plan better. So the first takeaway is about that if we are able to train our mind to prepare and be proactive, then a lot of the anxiousness that we deal with today can be reduced, right? It will not go away until, we get into a practice and it becomes a habitual or a very natural part of ourself, where every time we take decisions, we have a very calm, balanced, poised state of mind, because then it allows us to take decisions without emotions. So anxiousness is also one of the emotions that we deal with. And we all know that when we are triggered emotionally, we cannot rather use our cognitive abilities to the fullest, because our emotions hijack our cognitive abilities. So in summary, I think the first point that he made about, if the mind has not planned, then it is not prepared. That is causing us anxiousness. So it could be a very good reflection point that what are the situations where you are feeling, you get into the situations unprepared. Do you have such situations? Second question would be, what can you do about that situations for future? Is there an opportunity to plan to get more prepared so that you can be in a state of mind that can be more balanced? Okay. The second thing I think he said is about, very interestingly, that our aim and our objective always has to be about, how do we bring in simplicity? And I come from the, IT industry context. I've been working in the information technology sector. And one of the things that we always are thinking about is to make people's lives simpler, right? Whether it is through the use of technology or whether it is about our ways of working. So in that context, it is so crucial that if we reflect and say, am I dealing with this situation in the most simplest manner? What is the easiest and the most effective route to dealing with this particular situation, right? So bringing in the aspect of simplicity absolutely helps reduce anxiousness, because the more complex we are thinking, our approaches, our frameworks are, the more complexity will lead to more anxiousness. So that's the other point, that, complexity is a burden, right? And more you would see in the professional working space that everybody seeks for simplicity. And for a minute, forget everybody around the world. Would you not, as an individual, love simplicity? If somebody just told you in 2 steps what you had to deliver versus give you like a, chart of 10 steps to do, what would you like? Of course, you would just say, okay, just tell me 2 things that I need to do, because it is simple, easy, and you just can easily execute, or you can understand. Apply that same thing to everything in our life, whether we are creating a big project proposal, or we're solving a big business problem, or we're dealing with our day-to-day relationship conversations, issues in our relationship. Are we really keeping things simple? That is going to help our mind be less anxious, because it is simple. Complexity is a burden. Okay. I think the last thing that I want to mention is about the second video, where he talks about, how does meditation really help? How can that be a tool for us to manage our roles, in this case, a leader's role, much more effectively? Now, that's possible because, like he said, in meditation, what are we really doing? Number one, we are actually training our mind, right? So when we are training our mind to focus on one thing, that same ability to focus on one thing applies to all the aspects and all the activities that we do, right? So training the mind in the meditation is not only for meditation, so that I can do meditation better and have a space of thoughtlessness. That's not the objective. While that really, makes us feel good, because after a good meditation, you come out feeling very balanced, relaxed, calm. You feel that, you would just want to be in that space, quiet, stillness. So all those are great things, but that is not the purpose alone. So meditation is a technique or a skill that we are using to train our mind so that every time that I do an activity, I could actually be meditative, which means I could really harness the power of my mind and focus on the things that matters to me. So if I am able to master this art of meditation, which means, and it only comes through practice, if I am able to do that, then I can apply this skill in all parts of my life. So for example, I have a daughter, and she's right now seeking jobs, and she's exploring her life. And so the most important thing for me as a parent is to just be present when she has questions or she would like to converse. And some of you who have children, you would know, through the various life stages, there are stages when, you would like to be available to children versus, children seeking out for you, right? So at this point in time, my only goal is that as a parent, can I really be, mindfully listening and available to her when she needs me? And if at that moment, if I'm not in the present moment, and if I'm not able to focus in that conversation, then I probably would not be very happy about it, right? So that's just an example of how even mundane things of, what we do, day-to-day stuff, it requires us to be present in the moment and focus on what's on the hand at that point in time. So if you extend this to all our work as a professional, it is so important that if when I'm designing a proposal of how we're going to do the next talent strategy for a business, it is so important for me to be in that moment and completely be focused on what we want to deliver. And that really comes with this practice of being able to harness the best and the highest potential of my mind by having trained my mind during the meditation practice. So that's one of the clear benefits that, meditation helps us to bring in focus, clarity, and therefore, our productivity really increases. The second thing the video talks about is that when we are also meditating, it is not about just being thoughtless, but it is a space of inspiration. It is a space of intuition, which means that if I am trying to resolve a particular situation, I'm dealing with a problem, I might potentially get ideas to solve for it, which means that, it can save me a lot of time for making right decisions. In the video, Daji talks about that if you are able to get inputs in your meditation about, how to go about the proposal, what not to do, right? Can you imagine how much of rework will be saved? And we would all love to make decisions the first time right. I don't think any of us want to do decisions and regret and say, oh, if only I would have done this differently. So how do we make the right decisions? And this meditative mind and this ability to be focused, present in the moment can actually help us bring clarity. Again, one of the aspects we spoke about was anxiousness, which is just one of the emotions. It could be anything else. It could be about, you feeling overwhelmed with, the work that you have to do. It could be about that you're dealing with somebody, a relationship that you're deeply hurt and you are, upset, you're overcoming that emotion of being hurt. Or it could just be about, annoyed and not interested in the piece of work that's with you. So there is a lot of these emotions, we could be angry, upset, sad. All these is something that we're dealing with, which interferes with our ability to cognitively be at our best. And therefore, by the act of meditation, we are able to access that inner source, inner self, and the space, which can be very, very intuitive. It can be very, very helpful in reflecting what is the right thing. And that's what we really do in Heartfulness, that we are tapping into our heart's energies and the realm to be able to access our inner guidance to the fullest. And by doing so, we are actually just being able to make the right decisions and therefore avoid any kind of anxious situations that we might have to deal because of wrong decisions. So I think those are my key takeaways that I wanted to summarize for today on these two videos. I would love to hear if anybody wants to share, or if Dr. Sambit, if there's any other comments that you're seeing from the audience on any other reflections that they have taken away from the video today. Okay. Okay, I don't know, Dr. Sambit, if you're speaking on mute, but I don't see any comments. And so I'm just moving ahead on further to practice for today. So with this summary of our takeaway, let's go deep dive into our practice of meditation. As always, we will do a bit of relaxation so that we can just ease our body and mind. And I'm hoping that for most of you, it's a restful Sunday. You are able to take break from the work or any grinding activities of the week, and you could truly energize yourself by having a good start to the Sunday. So with that, let's all begin. I'm going to guide you through a relaxation, and then we'll do a few minutes of meditation. As always, if you have questions, please put that in the chat window, and we'll take the last few minutes to respond to them. Okay, great. So let's get started. Please sit comfortably. Very gently and softly. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Deeply inhale and exhale as slowly as possible. Let's do this 3 times. A deep inhalation and a slow exhalation. One more time. Deeply inhale. Feel the air expanding in your chest and your abdomen. And as you exhale, feel the contraction and be as slow as you can. So you're now seated comfortably with your eyes closed. And now you can breathe normally. Now make a mental note of your physical presence by just being aware of the place where you are seated in. So just think of your house, the room, the chair, wherever you're seated on. You're now aware of your physical presence. Now let's move inward and bring your attention to your toes. Wriggle them and just feel your toes. Now invite a healing energy from earth to enter your system and help you relax. Now feel the energy entering your toes and your feet, relaxing them. Feel the energy in your ankles and your calf muscles, gently moving up to your knees, the lower part of the legs are now deeply relaxed. Feel the energy moving into your thighs, relaxing your thighs, your hip, your pelvic area. Now all your lower parts of the body and the legs and the feet are completely relaxed. Let the energy now move into your stomach and your chest, relaxing them. Now feel the energy in your lower back. Just gently relaxing your lower back, removing any tightness that might be there. Feel the energy move into your middle back and the upper back. Relaxing your entire back region. Feel the energy in your shoulders, softly melting them away and dropping them. Now, let this energy move into your arms to relax them. Feel the energy in your biceps, elbow, forearms, and your palms and the fingertips. Your arms are feeling relaxed now. Now bring your attention to your face. Let this healing energy relax all parts of your face. Feel the energy in your chin. Now relaxing your jaws, lips, nose, eyes, cheeks, ears, and the forehead. Any stress that might be there in your forehead is now removed. Feel the relaxation there. Now allow this energy to move into your head. Feel it on the top of your head. Very gently moving to the back of your head. All parts of your head are being relaxed, including your neck muscles. Feel this energy relaxing your neck. Now take a moment to scan your body. From the top of your head to the tip of your toe, your entire system is now feeling deeply relaxed. You can feel the healing energy has permeated into every cell of your system, completely relaxing them. In this very balanced and relaxed state, bring your attention to your heart. Very softly rest there. Now have an idea there is source of divine light already existing in your heart. And it is attracting your attention from within. We will now begin meditation. And during this period, if you are distracted by any other thoughts, be very gentle and remind yourself you are meditating on the source of light in your heart. And very gently rest there. Keep your attention there. Be gentle and no force. So now immerse yourself in the love and light of your heart and stay there until you hear from me. Please start meditation. That's all. Keep your eyes closed and observe how you're feeling right now. So, after meditation, is your body and mind at ease? Take a moment to register this feeling. As you're making a note of the state of being you've created for yourself, this could be a very good moment to make an intention or even seek guidance on any issue or an activity that you would like to resolve. You can choose to continue to be in this state of being and seek for guidance from your inner self to reflect on any important piece of work or a problem at hand, or just very simply set the intention for how you want to spend the rest of the day. What matters the most to you during the day today? How would you carry forward yourself in the activities or the interactions? And once you feel ready, be very gentle and softly open your eyes to be back in the present moment. So I'm very hopeful that with every instance of you meditating, you would really find the space that you're creating for yourself, which can then further inspire you with much clarity and focus on what you would like to achieve. And anxiety was, like I said, just one of the emotions that we spoke of today and how to deal with it. I see a couple of questions posted on the chat, so maybe I'll try and see we can combine and take some of them. So I'm going to try and summarize, and Dr. Sambit, you can highlight if there's something that needs attention specifically. But I think the questions broadly are really about, different styles of leadership, or it's about, in different context, whether it is relation or, you being early on leadership ladder to you being experienced. I think in different context, the two key takeaway that we have to remember is that we cannot be a very different person in different situations. So what we're really trying to do through heartfulness techniques and leveraging them for our betterment is to make an inner transformation. So irrespective of, what situation you land in, which is something that you are aware, unaware, or caught by surprise, that is not going to make a difference to you when you have started your inner transformation, which is a more permanent transformation of how you would like to deal with things, irrespective of the external environment, right? Because there is only so much that we all have an control over external, but we have 100% control over of our internal environment. So everything boils down to how do I respond in a given situation versus how do I continue to react in the given situation. So our ability to reach to a state of responding to every situation means that I am very self-aware of where I am, what is the context, what can I do and what I cannot do in the current situation, and then I respond in the best manner that is applicable in that context, whatever is best possible, right? So this ability to be able to respond is very critical to any leadership role, or actually to every one of us, because we always regret when we react in a situation. So the leadership anxiety, how do we manage it is, and again, I would say while we reference leadership, which is little more becomes complex because of our higher accountability and responsibility, but this actually applies to anyone, who is interested in really making a better version of themselves and who do not want to, deal with anxiety, because anxiety, stress goes hand in hand, and it leads to, poor health, mentally, physically, and emotionally. So it only can do more harm to us and more harm to others around us. So I would say that if we are looking at how can I really manage my anxiety, the number one thing would be about becoming self-aware of what is causing me anxiety, and which really is developed through this ability of being able to train your mind through the meditation techniques. So if you're able to practice meditation and meditation is one of the skills, one of the tools, I would say, just from the experience of heartfulness, I'm sharing there could be many other tools, but I've found this to be very effective. So if you could practice meditation and start to see if you are being able to bring clarity to, the situations you're dealing with, then your self-awareness, which is how do you feel in the moment? What are the emotions you're going through? What are the things that you would like to do, right? So those are the awareness elements that really heightens when you meditate. And like right now, if you meditated, you would have created this space where you have much more balanced and a clearer view of what you're feeling, because you're able to connect to that feeling. So that is like the number one thing, to be able to recognize, be self-aware when you're feeling anxious. The second thing would be about having aware that there is an anxiety that is being caused by XYZ person, people, context, or topic. Then you need to have the courage to be able to deal with it and fix it, which means a lot of us, when we know that there is a stressor or there is a trigger that causes us anxiety, we first of all, we are not aware, but second of all, even if we are aware, we somehow don't take the action. And it could be multiple reasons of fear, not having the confidence, or just being afraid of the consequences, but being able to take support. And that support could be very well be medical counseling, or it could be, meeting a medical practitioner, apart from the tools like, meditation that can help you deal with anxiety as well. So I think that's what I wanted to summarize. I would request Deepak, Prasanna, if you have anything else to share before we wrap up. And yeah, back to you, Mr. Sambit.
Yeah, we are thankful to you for the deliberation on the various aspects of leadership and anxiety. Whenever we're looking for that, one is work-life balance. We are thankful to our today's mentors or event enablers, or we can call them the enablers, Mr. Prasanna Krishna, BH, and Mr. Deepak Khanduri over here. And we are thankful to each and every participants present over here for this special weekend session on the work-life balance. And in the last 2 days, you have thrown light on the various aspects of the work-life balance. We once again thankful to Madam Jyoti Ganpati, and we are thankful to all the enablers, and that one is mentors from Heartfulness for active participation as well as the mentoring and guidance on that one is particularly a whole week session. So that with this, we conclude this week's session. And the next week, we request you to join on the tomorrow's session at 8:30 p.m. and the weekend session at 10:30 a.m. So that all are requested to once again join all these sessions on work-life balance on the next week. We are thankful to each and everyone present over here. Thanks to all. With this, we conclude the today's session. Thank you to all.